The road hums beneath the tires. The light shifts across the windshield like time itself has slowed down to match your heartbeat. You lean your arm out the window, and the air tastes like freedom. Clean, cool, and endless. Somewhere between the pines, the desert, and that thin line where sky kisses the earth, it hits you. This isn't just a drive. It's a reminder that you're still alive, still curious, still capable of chasing horizons you once only dreamed about. They say adventure belongs to the young. But I've met enough travelers in their 60s and 70s to know that's a lie the world tells people who've forgotten how to live. Hey there, I'm with Forever Travelers, and if you're ready to make this next chapter the most exciting one yet, go ahead and hit like and subscribe right now, because every week, we explore real places and real possibilities for people who refuse to believe that life slows down after 60. Now, buckle up, because we're hitting the open road across the US and beyond to experience the most breathtaking drives on Earth, the kind that don't just show you beauty, they make you feel it. Imagine this. You start the car before dawn. The world's still asleep, the sky half dreaming in soft purples and golds. The headlights trace the curve of a coastal highway. The ocean beside you whispering like an old friend. And for a moment you realize something profound. You're not running out of time. You're finally using it. That's what these road trips are about. They aren't escapes. They're arrivals. The first road unfolds before you like a promise. A thin silver line carved between mountains and sea, the Pacific Coast Highway. You roll down your window, and the Pacific wind greets you like it's been waiting all these years. Cliffs rise from the water like cathedrals. Pelicans glide beside you, effortless, unbothered. You pull over at Big Sur, step out, and watch waves crash against ancient rock. The sound alone could silence every worry you've ever carried. At a cafe tucked off the highway, a man plays guitar by the window. You sip coffee, watch the fog drift, and realize you don't need a destination. The road is the destination. If you've ever driven this stretch, you know what I mean. And if you haven't, tell me in the comments. Would you rather start here, along the Pacific, or wait until autumn for something even more colorful? Because a few states east, another road waits the Blue Ridge Parkway. You start in Virginia, winding your way toward North Carolina. The air is crisp. The leaves burn with orange and gold like the hills are on fire. Every turn reveals something new. A waterfall tumbling from nowhere, a deer darting across a meadow, a cabin hidden in the trees. You pull over at an overlook, and the world below looks like a painting brushed by God himself. There's a couple sitting on the hood of their car, eating sandwiches, laughing like kids. They remind you that simple moments always age the best. Drop BLUE in the comments if this drive just made your list. But not every scenic road needs skyscraper trees or golden leaves. Some need silence. Some need space. You head north to Canada. The Icefields Parkway stretches like a frozen river through the Rockies, from Lake Louise to Jasper. The mountains here aren't quiet, they're reverent. You pull over beside a glacier-fed lake so turquoise it doesn't look real. A bald eagle circles above the water. You take a photo, then put the camera down, because some beauty isn't meant to be captured, only remembered. Elk graze by the roadside. Snow glimmers on distant peaks even in July. You fill your lungs with the cleanest air you've ever breathed, and for the first time in a long time, you don't feel small. You feel connected. If you could wake up anywhere tomorrow, right here among the peaks, or by the ocean, where would it be? Type mountain or ocean below. I'm curious which side of you wins. You might think the next great drive requires a passport. And you'd be right. You cross the Atlantic to Ireland, where the wild Atlantic Way snakes along the rugged coast. The road clings to cliffs that plunge into the sea, dotted with fishing villages and pubs that glow like hearths in the fog. You roll down the window. Somewhere in the distance, someone's playing fiddle. The rain comes and goes like a friendly interruption. You pull over near the cliffs of Moher, step out, and the wind nearly lifts you off your feet. Below, the ocean roars its applause. In a tiny cafe, a woman hands you tea before you even order. She asks, "Where are you from?" And before you can finish your story, she's already calling you love. That's Ireland. Every stranger's a friend you just haven't met yet. If you've ever dreamed of this drive, Type LUCKY, road in the comments. Let's see how many of us share that one. You return to the States, ready for nostalgia. Route 66, the Mother Road. It's not the fastest way anymore, but maybe that's why it's still sacred. You roll through small towns with names you've heard in songs, diners with neon signs still flickering, old motels with vacancy signs glowing in the dusk. You stop for pie at a counter that's seen 1,000 travelers before you. The waitress calls you honey, and for $5, you buy a slice of history. Every mile is a love letter to America's restless spirit. What's your go-to diner order? Drop it below. Maybe I'll feature a few in a future episode. As the road fades west, you reach Santa Monica. The ocean greets you again, patient, endless. Route 66 might be finished, but you're not. Halfway through this journey, let's take a second. If these stories are sparking something inside you, hit that like button right now. It tells YouTube this kind of storytelling matters. But more importantly, it tells me you're part of this movement. People who know retirement isn't the end, it's the beginning. You've earned this freedom. Let's use it. Now let's go somewhere even wilder. Australia's Great Ocean Road. The ocean hugs your left, cliffs your right, and in between, a thin ribbon of possibility. You pull over at the 12 Apostles. Those giant stone towers rising from the surf like guardians. The air smells like salt and eucalyptus. Surfers glide across waves glowing orange in the sunrise. You realize this moment isn't about travel, it's about perspective. You traded deadlines for dawns, paychecks for peace. If this sunrise drive speaks to you, comment freedom below. Because that's what it is, pure, golden freedom. From one coast to another, you head north again. Glacier National Park. Going to the Sun Road. They carved this one right into the mountainside, and it feels like the world itself holds its breath as you drive. You pass wildflowers, crystal lakes, maybe even a bear or two in the distance. The peaks stretch toward the heavens like prayers that never stopped rising. You pull over, kill the engine, and listen. It's quiet enough to hear your heartbeat, quiet enough to remember how rare peace like this really is. Some travelers crave beaches. Others crave roads like this, roads that make you feel alive just by surviving them. Which one are you? Type mountain or beach below. You fly next to a land of fire and ice. Iceland's ring road circles an entire country that looks borrowed from another world. The road winds past waterfalls taller than skyscrapers, black sand beaches, volcanoes that still breathe smoke, and lagoons filled with icebergs that glow blue under the Arctic sun. At night, you pull off into a quiet spot, step outside, and look up. The northern lights ripple across the sky like pink in motion. You don't even reach for your phone. You just stand there and let the universe remind you how big and how brief everything is. If seeing the northern lights is on your list, type lights below. I want to see how many of us share that dream. You come back to warmth, the overseas highway through the Florida Keys. 42 bridges over turquoise water. Palm trees, music, the scent of salt and sunscreen. Every mile brings another island, another reason to slow down. You roll down the windows, let the air in, and smile. You're not rushing anywhere. You're right where you're supposed to be. At sunset, you stop at a roadside stand. Someone hands you key lime pie on a paper plate. You sit on the hood of your car, legs swinging, and the horizon melts into pink and gold. You think, yeah, this is living. If you've ever dreamed of driving this stretch with music on and no plan in mind, type KEYS in the comments. Let's see who's chasing sunshine. But the last one, this one surprises people. The Garden Route, South Africa. Lush forests, open cliffs, beaches so wide they look endless. Elephants cross the road like it's their land. Because it is. Every night ends in color. You pull over, the engine clicks softly as it cools, and you watch the sun sink into the Indian Ocean. Locals wave as they pass. You wave back, quietly grateful to still be out here seeing the world. Would you ever take a road trip on another continent? Comment someday below. That word alone might make it real. And that's the beauty of all these drives. They're not about distance. They're about rediscovery. Every turn of the wheel is proof that you can always start again. So before we wrap up, If this journey gave you that spark, that quiet voice saying, maybe it's time, then hit like and subscribe now. Because this is your tribe, people who believe adventure doesn't end, it evolves. Thank you for watching, for dreaming, for proving that freedom doesn't belong to the young. It belongs to the bold. Next week, we're trading the open road for open seas. In our next episode, we'll reveal cruise secrets for seniors, how to save thousands on your next voyage. We'll show you how to see the world by ship without sinking your savings. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and come aboard with us next Sunday. Until then, keep chasing horizons, keep dreaming bigger, and remember, freedom isn't a place, it's a choice. Sometimes, it's just waiting down the next road. Thank you for being part of Forever Travelers. And thank you for watching.